Hi everyone, this is Irina from Healnlearn.com, and today we're going to be talking about ways to use your feminine energy to be more successful at work or in business. So by the end of this video, you'll know 3 principles that will make you successful. So stay tuned. Now, I'll start with a random question. What do Albert Einstein and Sheryl Sandberg have in common? Do you have a clue? Well, I'll tell you, both of them are Jewish. I know it seems out of nowhere, like this answer has nothing to do with the topic, but it actually does. You see, the Judaic tradition acknowledged Kabbalah as its mystic tradition sometime in the 1200s. So some of the principles are deeply ingrained already in the Judaic tradition. And while I was reading lots of books related to business, to negotiating, to human relations, I was always wondering why most of the authors are actually Jewish. What do they know better than other people? And so I gave it a thought, and here are some principles that I found out. So let me first explain give you an overview of what Kabbalah is. Kabbalah believes that we as a collective soul are represented by a vessel. So imagine we are a cup, and God, or Ein Sof as they call it, is the light. So the goal of the vessel is to be filled with light, and this is when it reaches enlightenment, if we have to use Buddhistic terms. So there's always a parallel between Kabbalah and other religions, by the way, and I found a lot of parallels between Kabbalah and Buddhism. Anyhow, so in order to feel the light, you should know that you cannot feel it all at once. So usually you cannot reach a state of enlightenment in one go. You fill your cup bit by bit. A way to increase the level of light you receive is actually to put a filter on top of your cup, because this filter lets some light in, so the light permeates, but not all of it. A part of it goes through the filter and a part of it is reflected back. So this is a way to increase the percentage of light you're actually getting. So how do we put a filter on the cup? Because the goal is not only to reach enlightenment, but it can be applied to any area of life. If you want to manifest something, if you want to achieve something, this is a principle of putting a filter that applies to any sphere of life. And this is why it was used by so many authors of Jewish origin. So let's refer back to Sheryl Sandberg. By the way, if you don't know who she is, which I really doubt because I think everybody knows, she's the COO of Facebook, and she wrote the book Lean In that became the bestseller, I think 5-6 years ago, on women in workplaces and women advancement in workplaces. So one of the things Sheryl says is that women don't negotiate for to begin with. So when they step in a position or they're offered a new position, they don't negotiate because they believe anyhow they've been given a good offer and they don't have enough self-worth to negotiate for more. So she says you need to negotiate to begin with. And this is also a principle found in Kabbalah. In order to receive more light, to activate the filter, you should say no. Because saying no lets more light in. You would think that they will reject you, but it has the opposite effect. It actually makes people want to give you more. So what you should do when you're offered a promotion or a job is always ask either for more money or for more time off or for extra perks that you want to achieve. Even if you don't really care about these things, you should ask for more, because this is what shows people that you value yourself, so therefore you're more valuable for them. Principle number 2 of Kabbalah that is also used in Sheryl Sandberg's book is the principle of reducing your ego. They're unrelated, but let me link them. Sheryl says the way for women to advance is not to bang their heads forward. It's not to use masculine ways, but they should use the principles of collaboration, of asking for help, and of asking other people for recommendation. Because whenever a woman boasts about and shows her achievements, she's actually looked down upon. Nobody likes that. Women that are cocky are not perceived well. So therefore, they should be recommended by other people. So in order for you to ask for help or ask for recommendations or ask for collaboration for any sort of help, you should reduce your ego, because the ego usually doesn't allow us to ask for anything, because the ego is above us all. So when you have a ceiling, you don't allow anybody else to be on top, anybody else to be more than you. So naturally, you can't ask for help, because you don't need help for anybody if you're more than them. You only need help from people that are more than you in one or more spheres of your life. The other thing that can be done is to acknowledge somebody else for the achievement of their work. So not necessarily take acknowledgement yourself, but acknowledge your boss, for example. This is also a way to receive your ego, and as a woman in the workplace, you will receive more this way. And this is what Sheryl Sandberg also concluded. Now, the third principle is actually a principle that is in the Judaic religion directly, doesn't come from Kabbalah, and it is the principle to detach from the outcome. I know in Western society it is success is mostly looked at as an external evidence. So you need to show your status, you need to show you've achieved something. But in the Judaic tradition, achievement and success, also in Kabbalah, by the way, can be something completely internal. It doesn't need to be externalized in any way. So if you achieve soul growth, your internal work is more important than the outer manifestation of it. And I'll tell you a story that I've heard about Kabbalah. One father promised his little son to take him fishing every morning, because the fish would bite only at 5 o'clock in the morning. So the father said, okay, son, tomorrow I'm taking you fishing at 5 o'clock. But he never could get up. So the next morning he couldn't get up, and he promises again, okay, I really promise you now, tomorrow I'm going to take you fishing at 5 o'clock. We're going to get up tonight. We're going to go to bed early. The next morning, same thing. He couldn't get up. And so they missed the fishing day. And this continues for a whole month. In the end, how does Kabbalah treat it? Kabbalah says the important is the intention. It doesn't matter that the actual action didn't happen or there was no outer manifestation, because the father did it with the best of intention, and this is what matters. So I will tell you why this principle is very important. Because once you detach yourself from the outcome or the outer manifestation, you focus your entire energy on the current action, on what you're doing right now. So this puts all your energy, it takes it away from the future, from the outcome to the now. And second of all, it eliminates fear. Because when you think of the outcome, there's always fear. Will it happen? Will it not happen? And when it eliminates fear, you act with much more security, and it allows you to be much more successful. So these are the three principles of Kabbalah, and that I linked to Sheryl Sandberg that I wanted to share with you. Let me wrap them up now. So the principle number one, to put a filter and to say no. Because this will allow for more light to come in, for an improved offer to come, and for you to be more appreciated at work or in business. Principle number two is to reduce your ego. This is also putting a filter on your vessel. Reduce your ego by asking for help, for collaboration, and acknowledging others. And the principle number three is what I just mentioned, the principle of non-attachment or detachment from the outcome. And something that I probably didn't clarify enough is that we as a collective vessel are also vessels on an individual level. So each of our individual souls is represented by a vessel. And the principle that is used in esoterics, that is as above, so below, is also comes from Kabbalah, because in Kabbalah, the bigger soul, the bigger vessel, is copied onto the smaller vessels. So all the principles of Kabbalah work on a smaller scale as well, and can be applied to various situations. For example, we as women are vessels, and men act like light to women. And therefore, these principles per se work for women that well, because in Kabbalah also women are cups, as are our organs, as a matter of fact. So I hope this was interesting. Thanks very much for your attention, and do come back to healnlearn.com, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much.